Hello, fellow humans. Bartholomew J. Simpson here with a very important secret. Space mutants are invading Springfield. That's right, man. A bunch of slimy, horrible, totally gross and putrid monsters are taking over the bodies of the people who live here, and they want to build a weapon that's going to take over the entire planet. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, yours truly is the only one who could see him because of my X-ray glasses, so it's up to me to stop him. I've got to spray paint things, get radical on my skateboard, use my trusty slingshot, and in general behave like a nuisance, man. Plus, with evil dudes like Nelson the Bully and Sideshow Bob getting in my way, it's a good thing I've got the rest of the Simpsons to help me out. So if you're a decent person, patriot, and somebody who cares about this sorry planet, you'll do the right thing. Save the Earth. Buy this game. Thanks, man. Yes, the box to The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants, actually says, buy this game, in all caps. It was brought to us by Imagineering and Acclaim in 1991. I remember when this game came out, we were all very excited because the Simpsons were cool, and still are cool, and Bart Simpson was really cool, but not so much anymore. Oh boy. This was the first video game based on the TV show The Simpsons. It was released in 1991 for the NES, Master System, Atari ST, Amiga, ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64, and Amstrad CPC, and in 1992 for the Mega Drive and Genesis and the Game Gear. It was published by Acclaim and Ocean, and developed by Imagineering and Arc Developments. Platformer game in which we control Bart Simpson through 5 levels. Most of the people I know never made it to level 2, as he tries to ruin the aliens' plans to take over the world. Video game critics have given Bart vs. the Space Mutants mixed reviews. Really? We didn't all agree it was just bad. With criticism directed at the difficulty of the game, partly caused by restricted controls. Yeah, I can see that. Single-player game, Bart is the only one who knows of the aliens' secret plans, thanks to his new X-ray glasses, which he can see the aliens with, and has to stop them from collecting the items they need to build their ultimate weapon to take over the world. There are a total of 5 levels in which Bart must collect or destroy a certain number of these items. Purple objects in the first level, hats in the second, balloons in the third, exit signs in the fourth, and nuclear rods in the fifth. We went from purple objects to nuclear rods. If Bart loses a life, he says, "Eat my shorts, man." Another objective of Bart vs. the Space Mutants is to help Bart convince the other members of the Simpsons family about the aliens' existence, so that they will help him during the levels. In order to get some of the items and progress through the game, Bart must use equipment such as rockets and cherry bombs, which are bought with coins that can be collected by getting rid of aliens. Bart is controlled by the player both on foot and on skateboard. To get rid of the aliens, which are disguised as humans, you need to jump on their heads. The game increases in difficulty for every level, and Bart meets up with a boss at the end of the first 4. The levels are familiar to fans of The Simpsons, and some of the other television humor appears in the game. For example, in the first level, Bart can make a prank call to the bartender Moe in order for him to run outside so you can spray paint his purple apron, an example of an item that the alien needs, to a red color that the aliens do not want. The game also includes some mini-games. According to the magazine Hispanic Engineer and Information Technology, the game was a bestseller. That is an interestingly specific magazine. Reviews of Bart vs. the Space Mutants have been mixed. One of the authors of the book Video Game Bible 1985 to 2002 called Bart vs. the Space Mutants the best of the Simpsons title on the NES. However, another contributor to the book says it falls flat, mostly because it relies too much on its license and not enough on solid platform action. Many critics have described the game as difficult. Another, for the Italian newspaper La Repubblica, said the levels are not easy, and the Swedish edition of Sega Force described the game as both difficult and boring. Nintendo Power, which gave it a 66 out of 100, wrote, "Bart Simpson has finally made it to the NES from Acclaim. His adventure, though, is anything but a game for underachievers. The game is very challenging and could be frustratingly so to some players. The tasks you must perform to complete the adventure require patience and skill." The NES version received a B from Lou Ketson of Entertainment Weekly, who noted that the biggest drawback of the game is its brutally difficult opening section. However, what makes it challenging are clever strategic puzzles rather than thumb-bruising acrobats. Bart tests reflexes and imagination in a way all too rarely seen in video games. The video game critics David Mrozik was more negative, giving it a D and noting that the difficulty is insane. He added that the game is actually quite fun to play, but is relentlessly unforgiving, requiring you to complete every single goal flawlessly. Since there's no password, you're doomed to repeat the early stages, and considering the difficulty, that oversight is unforgivable. The Sinclair version was given the ZX Spectrum version was given a 92 out of 100. I don't know. I'm not super huge fan of the game. I think everybody got it because, yeah, it's a Simpsons game. How great is this gonna be? We love the Simpsons. And then the game was really not very good. It may be the best of the Simpsons games on the NES, but the best of something bad is still not very good. It's just not a super great game. Controls are goofy. The physics are goofy. You touch any enemy, you die, except for the ones that it's okay to jump on, which you don't know unless you put the glasses on, which means you have to constantly be swapping through your inventory to go back between the item you need and your glasses so you can see the enemies, and blah, 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 blah. Do yourselves a favor. If you're going to play a Simpsons game, go get that beat 'em up one for the arcade.